You have been told your entire financial life that cash is trash. Financial gurus repeat it constantly. Social media influencers post charts showing how inflation destroys idle money. Your coworker brags about being fully invested. And somewhere along the way, you started believing that holding cash means you are losing the game. But here's the thing nobody is saying out loud. The wealthiest people on the planet quietly disagree with all of that. And today I am going to show you exactly why. Let me start with a question. When the last major market crash happened, who got richer? It was not the person whose entire net worth was tied up in a portfolio bleeding red every single day. It was the person sitting on a pile of liquid cash, calmly picking up assets at prices that seemed almost criminal. That is not luck. That is strategy. And it is a strategy the wealthy have been using for generations, while the rest of us argue about which index fund has the lowest expense ratio. Here is what the financial system does not want you to understand. Financial advisors, investment platforms, and Wall Street in general make money when your money is deployed with them, not when it is sitting quietly in your bank account. So of course, the entire ecosystem is designed to make you feel guilty about holding cash. Every calculator they show you emphasizes inflation loss. Every article pushes maximum investment exposure. But the people who have actually built generational wealth tell a very different story. Think about what cash actually gives you that no investment can. It gives you options, right now, today. Not after a 3 to 5 day settlement period. Not after penalties for early withdrawal. Not after market hours close. Immediately accessible options, and options are the foundation of real power. There are 5 specific ways cash creates wealth that almost nobody talks about. The first is crisis shopping. When markets crash, and they always eventually do, the person with cash is not panicking. They are browsing. They are the one buying rental properties from desperate sellers at 40% below market value. They are purchasing stocks at discounts that take years to appear. The math on this is staggering. Consider someone who kept $200,000 in cash while friends mocked them for being too conservative. When a market downturn hit and assets dropped dramatically, that cash holder deployed strategically and watched that same $200,000 grow into something significantly more valuable within just a few years. Meanwhile, fully invested friends were in survival mode, unable to act, watching opportunities disappear in real time. The second power of cash is what I call walk-away leverage. Imagine having 2 full years of living expenses sitting liquid right now. That terrible boss suddenly loses all their power over you. That toxic client who underpays and overdemands becomes someone you can fire without panic. That bad business partnership becomes something you can exit cleanly. Most people stay trapped in miserable situations not because they lack ambition, but because they lack liquidity. Financial desperation is the invisible cage that keeps talented people stuck. And here is the fascinating psychological flip side. When you are not desperate, people sense it. Employers value you more. Business partners negotiate differently with you. Your entire energy shifts from scarcity to strength, and that shift attracts better opportunities on its own. The third element is understanding that opportunity cost actually runs in both directions. Everyone loves pointing out that cash loses purchasing power to inflation. That is real, and it matters. But what about the cost of not having cash when a once-in-a-decade opportunity appears? Missing a reliable 10% annual return hurts. But missing the chance to buy a distressed asset at half its value because all your capital was locked up hurts significantly more. The math almost always favors having some strategic liquidity, especially when you factor in the scenarios where being fully invested forces you to sell at exactly the wrong moment. Think about 2 people facing the same emergency during a market downturn. Person A is fully invested and needs to liquidate $30,000 from a portfolio that is already down significantly. They lock in those losses permanently, missing the recovery that follows. Person B taps their cash reserve, leaves their investments untouched, and even deploys additional cash to buy at crash prices. Same crisis, completely opposite outcomes. The only variable was liquidity. Now I want to pause here, because if you are watching this and thinking, I want to actually build this kind of financial foundation for myself, not just understand it conceptually, but actually implement it step by step, I want to tell you about the Wealth Accelerator Academy. This is a group coaching program and course specifically designed to help you move from financial stress to genuine financial freedom. It covers cash strategy, investment psychology, income building, and the actual mechanics of wealth creation. If this video is shifting how you think about money, the Wealth Accelerator Academy will take that shift and turn it into a structured action plan built around your specific situation. The link is in the description below. Seriously worth checking out. Now back to the fourth reason cash is secretly a weapon, not a weakness. Cash is offensive, not defensive. The wealthiest investors in history have understood this instinctively. Warren Buffett's company, Berkshire Hathaway, has famously maintained enormous cash reserves, sometimes over $100 billion. Not because Buffett forgot about inflation, but because he knows that extraordinary opportunities require ready capital, and those opportunities appear precisely when everyone else has none. The power of holding cash is amplified by the fact that most people do not hold it. Other people's illiquidity creates your buying opportunities. That is not cynical, it is simply how market dynamics work. The fifth piece is patience as a compounding advantage. When you have a solid cash cushion, you never have to sell investments at the wrong time. You can hold through volatility with genuine calm because your survival does not depend on your portfolio's current number. Research consistently shows that the biggest destroyer of investment returns is not fees or poor fund selection. It is emotional selling during downturns driven by financial pressure. Cash eliminates that pressure. It is essentially buying yourself the ability to be a rational investor instead of a reactive one. And that behavioral edge is worth more than most people ever calculate. So what does the right cash position actually look like? The standard emergency fund advice of 3 to 6 months is a floor, not a ceiling. Think in terms of 2 layers. First, a genuine extended safety net of 1 to 2 years of expenses. Second, an opportunity fund that sits ready to be deployed when the right moment arrives. Yes, that cash will lose some purchasing power to inflation annually. But weigh that cost against the peace of mind, the walk-away power, the crisis buying ability, and the patience advantage it provides. And the math suddenly tells a very different story than what conventional financial advice wants you to believe. Here is the mindset shift that brings all of this together. Stop thinking of cash as lazy money waiting to be put to work. Start thinking of it as loaded potential energy waiting for the right moment to be released. Every major wealth creation story involves a moment where someone had cash when others did not. That is not coincidence. That is the strategy working exactly as intended. If you want to go deeper on this, to actually build a personalized wealth strategy that includes smart cash positioning alongside your investments, income streams, and long-term goals, that is exactly what the Wealth Accelerator Academy is built for. It is not just information. It is a structured system with group coaching to hold you accountable and help you make real moves. Find the link in the description and take that next step toward building wealth on your own terms. Now, if this video genuinely changed how you think about cash and financial strategy, here is my honest ask for a subscription. I do not make videos just to fill a feed. Every video I publish is designed to give you a real perspective shift, the kind that actually changes decisions. If you want more of that, more of the thinking that the wealthy use but rarely explain clearly, then subscribing means you will not miss the next one. Hit that button because your financial future will thank you for it. Now go build something real. Stay liquid, stay strategic, and remember this always. The person with cash when everyone else is desperate is never just surviving, they are thriving. That is your edge. Now go use it.